We're here with a yearling gelding we call Mike. He came from the Open Box Rafter Ranch in South Dakota. He's about 18 months old right now. He's a good sized colt. He's about 14 hands, maybe almost 14.1 now. You will notice there are sort of blotches on him here and there. He lives outside and he got a little bit of rain rot, and I've doctored each of those scabby areas, but the salve I put on, I couldn't rinse off because it's just too doggone cold today. So that's a good thing that it's getting him over that condition. It doesn't look the best. Plus he's got his winter coat on, so you're sort of seeing him the way he really lives. What we're gonna work on today, and I'll lead him around and you'll see what I mean. This colt has always had a little tendency to drag when you lead him. Now, the filly that came in with him couldn't be more different. She steps right up with you. If you move your hand, she follows your hand. He's just a little more muley. He'll sort of sit back a little bit and just lag. And he's not ugly about it, but I'd like to motivate him a bit. I'm gonna show you what I do to do that, and it'll help him at the same time. I did this with the filly just to play with it, because I've done it in the past but haven't done it for a while. He has not had any lessons on this particular subject at all. So I'm going to lead him away here. Now it's a breezy day, he may lead along just fine. But you can see he's kind of heavy. He's kind of heavy. I'm pulling on him and he doesn't have a lot of feel in that halter. You know, I'll pull on him here and there's not a whole lot of feel. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this lunge whip to motivate him. Now, I've seen this done. The first time I saw this done was at a clinic with Buck Brannaman, and he simply had us use the tail end of our rope to drive our horse along behind us, and it worked just fine. But what I found is this makes your arm really long, and it's, I think, a little less confusing with the horse, or for the horse. So I'm going to take him down there, and I'm going to do this right along the fence, because if you don't have that fence beside you, your horse will tend to sort of bulge out. They'll just move their hind end around when you tap them with this stick. He sort of forgot how long that lead rope is. See, he wanted to be friendly and nibble on me. I want him to know that I've got some space here too that I may want to use. He can stand out there just as well as he can stand next to me. That was a tiny little thing he did, but I don't really care that that wasn't on my agenda today. You fix it when it happens. And I just sort of jiggle him and say, stand out there, think about yourself, big guy. And that big sigh says, all right, I got it. That's good. Come on, buddy. No grudges either way, right, Mikey? So you can see just walking across here that he's not real motivated. Now, horses can get a little rattled when you do this. You don't want to get run over, but usually you won't. Complicated a little bit by how windy it's getting. I don't want that lash end of the whip, the string part, I want that in my hand. I don't want it flapping in the breeze. So I'm going to go along here and see how he's lagging. Come on up. So if I get out in front of him, I want him to catch my hand. And actually that was good. I thought he'd pass me and I was going to live with that. He was polite enough he didn't run by me, and I thank him for that. Now, as has been my pattern in these videos, I'm going to work on the one side, but I will do this off both sides. It's just a better way to do it. But for demonstration purposes, we'll just do it with him led off the conventional side, we'll call it. And what I'll typically do, but it would be harder to film, You can see I've got fences. Maybe you can pan across there all around here. I'll do this the whole way around this area to where he gets in the pattern of doing it rather than just repeating it up this single line of fence. But for demonstration purposes, I'm going to move my hand, no response. I'm going to move his backside. I'm going to move my hand. See how he's catching up to my hand? And this colt actually, it's odd. He's pretty feely, and it's odd that he would have that lag to him. So we'll get down in here. I'm going to start walking up here, and I'm going to ask him to catch up to my hand. Not quite. He thought about it. I'm going to ask him, see, I don't want him passing me, but I do want him keeping pace with me. So as this gets better, and we may not achieve this, probably won't achieve this today, he can be behind me, he can be beside me, but he is going to be keeping pace with me regardless of where he's located. So he gets a little revved up, but that's fine. He's really doing what I ask him to, and that's to move his feet. And I'm not going to get after him for moving his feet in a kind of a happy feet kind of way. Now, this is where going the whole way around this fenced area really does help you, because he's starting to learn this as a pattern, not as a response. So off camera, just because of the difficulty of following everything, I will work on him the whole way around this fenced area. But here we go. I'm going to move my hand, catch up to my hand, catch up to my hand. There you go. Wait. Catch up to my hand. And he should be getting to where I can go out here and do this a little bit in the open. Say, catch up to my hand, big guy. So once they get the idea, the fence is less important. He's very aware of that stick. If I just move it out of the way, he motivates himself. So we'll see, can he catch up to my hand? And that's foolishness, but that's colts. There you go. See how he broke loose there? And it gives you a little workout here in the sand. Good for you, right? Wait, don't go past me. So you want him to balance up and not go blowing by you. But see how the difference in how he's leading? And I move my hand up there. He follows my hand. Starting to follow my hand. Starting to get too close to the camera, lady. Sorry about that. Come on up. There you go. So you can see how they flare a bit in the back end when there's no fence there to stabilize them. But after a bit, that all goes away when they just start following that little bit of pressure. Stay a little further off the fence. Move my hand. See? He comes to the hand. I'll move my hand. And there, you can see I'm walking and he's trotting. Come to the hand. Come on. There you go. So this can get a whole lot better. But this is real good progress in 10 minutes or so. And I'm going to take it. Because it may be that the most important thing we learn with our horses is when to quit, and that's perfectly good quitting time. Now, I've just been chasing him with this whip. I don't want him to be scared of it. He may be a little bit concerned about it. So I'm going to give him a little back scratch and a rub with it, right back where I've been chasing him, to where he knows that he only has to react when this motion is through my intention to move him. And if you noticed, I didn't crack him one time. I hit him about yay hard, but he knows I don't mean it now. And that makes all the difference. And actually he was spooking at the way the wind's blowing more so than at that stick. So we haven't shattered him in any way. And if nothing else, it's one more opportunity to handle his whole body down between his legs from a safe position. And if you notice, he's not in my hip pocket. He was coming up beside me when I asked him to. He stopped all sprawled out, and you know, he's polite enough just to stay sprawled out. Good for you, Mike. Thank you, and thank you, folks.